Yo guys, we have the top 5 best class setups for long range rifles you want to be using in Warzone 2 ranked play. These also go hand in hand with Ashika Island. So let's get right into the class setups. First, we have the Lachman 5.56. This is a great contender with very minimal recoil. The first attachment we're going to be putting on is the 15.9-inch Lachman wrap barrel, which gives us bullet velocity, damage range, recoil control, and hipfire accuracy. For our muzzle, we are going with the Zulu 60, which gives us sound suppression, bullet velocity, damage range, along with that recoil smoothness. Underbarrel is going to be the good old F-Tac Ripper 56 with that aiming idle stability, hipfire accuracy, and recoil stabilization. We're going to go with the 60 round drum to get max ammo capacity, and then you could choose your optic of choice. It really just comes down to preference. The second AR that we're going to look at is the Kastov 545. This surprisingly has a very competitive TTK, that mid-range and very low recoil as well. So for our barrel of choice, we are going with the IGK30, which gives us the most bullet velocity, recoil control, damage range, along with hipfire accuracy. For the muzzle, we are also going to be choosing the Zulu 60 with that sound suppression, bullet velocity, damage range, and recoil smoothness. Coming over to the underbarrel, we're going to choose the F-Tac Ripper 56. You could rock the 45 to get a little bit quicker ADS times, but 60 is much needed on the bigger map because you are taking a lot of shots from range. And finally, just your optic of choice. Next, we have the Kastov 762. This is also a very heavy hitting competitive TTK weapon that you could use. For our barrel, we are going to go with the first one, which is giving us the most damage range, bullet velocity, hipfire accuracy, along with that recoil control. Next, we could choose the ZLR Talon muzzle, which is giving us the max amount of sound suppression, bullet velocity, damage range, and recoil smoothness. For our underbarrel, choosing the good old F-Tac Ripper, which all around is the best underbarrel for all your class setups. And finally, for the magazine, we are going with the 40 round, which is the max ammo capacity. And finally, the optic of choice, and I actually like to use Loadout Choreo Rex Pro on this, but it all comes down to preference. Next we have the ISO Hemlock. This all around is the lowest recoil and it's going to give you the most accurate shot. This is my personal go-to when I'm playing Warzone ranked. Although it does have a slower TTK than the rifles that I showed previously, it still is very accurate, which leads to you dropping people a little bit quicker just because you'll be hitting more shots. So getting into build, we are going with the Fielder T50 barrel, maxing out that damage range, bullet velocity, hipfire accuracy, along with that recoil control. For the muzzle, we are using the Harbinger D20, which also gives us the highest sound suppression, bullet velocity, damage range, and recoil smoothness. For the underbarrel, we are going with the good old F-Tac Ripper. Max out that ammo capacity with the 45 rounds and choose your optic of choice. I've been liking the aim op a lot on this one. Finally, we have the Crone Squall. This gun is very competitive. Right now, if you switch it to the semi-auto mode, it actually has the potential to 3-bullet people, and sometimes you'll get killed by it before you can even react. So for the barrel, we're going with the HR 6.8 barrel, which gives us the max damage range, bullet velocity, recoil control, along with that hipfire accuracy. The muzzle is going to be that ZLR Talon to max out that sound suppression, bullet velocity, damage range, and recoil smoothness. Next, for the underbarrel, we have the Universal F-Tac Ripper 56. We're going to come over here and max out the ammo capacity with the 50 round drums. And then finally, we can choose the optic of choice. A lot of people actually have been rocking thermals to combat the usage of smokes. And the thermal you could rock is the SC Holotherm. This thing may have a little bit more recoil, but it also does reward you with that damage. It has less recoil and even does more damage if you switch it to that semi-auto mode. I hope you guys enjoyed the class setup video and use these class setups to dominate in Warzone 2. If you guys could drop a like and hit that subscribe button, it'd be much appreciated. Other than that, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace! Real quick, I realized I didn't show any of the tunings, and in rank play you actually can't tune your weapons, but there's a way to work around this, which is pretty much by coming into a regular lobby that is not a ranked game mode. Here you could tune all your attachments. Make sure it's for recoil steadiness and damage range for all the long range weapons. Save it as a blueprint and then you could equip that blueprint in ranked mode, which will have all the tunings already applied.